Just generated an entire journey of open the box.
Yes.
Right? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Well, if you want to know what's in the box, you're going to have to get a key.
Yes.
Where's the key? Well, we don't know where the key is. Let's have a game of hide and go seek.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we'll play hide and go seek for how long? Until it becomes boring. Okay.
Yes.
It's boring. It took a week. We still haven't found the key. So we want to open the box still. How are we going to do it? Go to a locksmith. Let's see if he'll get you a key. Okay. We'll bring it to a locksmith. He checks the thing and he says, I can't make a key, but I know someone who might. What's in the box?
Now he wants to know what's in the box.
Welcome to the We Talks. It's not we talking.
Who is it?
It's someone who's humorously called the We by you. Introduce yourself as the We.
Larry and Inelia. How many podcasts do we have now, honey?
3.
3? What are they?
Driving to the Res.
Mm-hmm.
Second hour
Yes.
of Driving to the Res.
Uh-huh.
The We Talks.
Uh-huh.
And I think there's one more.
Woo for thought.
Oh, Woo for Thought. Yeah. You can find the We Talks at thewetalks.com.
You can.
And you can read the other articles and you can read the other blogs. Well, I guess you can listen to the other podcasts also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give it a go.
All right. I'm going to do a little intro about the We.
Thank you.
Because Larry decided that this was important because a lot of people come to this, or you might be listening to it for the first time. And you go, why are they calling themselves We?
The We. This doesn't make any sense.
The We. So this is a little something that I'm going to read to you. Hi, we're humorously called The We by Inelia. That's me.
Well,
What?
also you.
You probably don't know us yet, or maybe you do. We're not singularly just Inelia, and we have been in touch both as Inelia and as the We with others around the world. And by others we mean other people and other species here. We thank the creation of this website and the opportunity to speak directly to you who are interested in what we have to say. Inelia is part of who we are, and we are part of who she is. Yes.
Yes. That gets actually explained more in detail in the article that you wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
that we wrote. You wrote. See, it's one time, it's like the way that I think of it, which helps me understand it a little better.
Mm-hmm.
It's like humans are a body and a soul.
Yes.
And we have a body name, human name, like
Mm-hmm.
my name's Larry, your
Yes.
name's Inelia.
Yes.
Our souls have their own, I guess, name,
Yeah.
but we don't go around calling each other, hey, soul, whatever. Whatever
Indeed.
your soul name might be.
Uh-huh.
We go by, that name. So the we is, in a way I can understand it, your soul's name. Your soul's name. Soul's name.
Yeah, not quite right. But it's good. I mean, good job, honey.
It's a...
Because we do have a soul construct that's Inelia. Part of the singular construct needs a soul.
Right.
Part of being human is a physical body elemental and a soul. You cannot have a human without both of those. You can have other things. You can have just a physical body elemental like the Anunnaki or the Sasquatch, they are just physical body elementals, which you could say is a being or a soul that's very solid and can function within a physical universe. And then you have your soul entity within the body, or the body's within the soul, actually. But we like to think of it in the West as the soul is inside the body.
Yeah.
And that is the same soul that you have within different incarnations, right? So you can have the same soul within a lot of different lifetimes. And yeah, so that's how it goes. I could go on, but about souls and things. And the we are, it is a consciousness, like a point of awareness, just like you have as a soul and as a body. You have a point of awareness in the universe. The we is like that, but it's very different to the singular construct awareness point. And as the we wanted to experience life as human, they constructed a soul that would allow them to have an incarnation as a singular person, and that's me. But there's no real difference between the identity or the perception of me and the perception of we. But it's like they're both the physical body elemental is its own thing, just like yours is its own thing. The soul, independent of the we, it's not quite independent, but it is. And that is constructed. Your soul is eternal, it's not constructed. And if it was constructed, it was like when or where, there's no point.
There's no when or where of it.
Yes. And then you have a collective awareness of all the collectives that you belong to right now. So for example, your physical body elemental is part of a collective, right? And your soul is part of many collectives. You could be a collective of the family you were born into. You could be a collective of people who like to drive cars or sail boats.
Or maybe we're in the army.
Or we're in the army, or live in Seattle, or live in Spain. You know, you have lots and lots and lots of human collectives that you're part of. Many, many, many of them. And with some of them you feel really connected with, some of them not so much. And that can vary. It can change from lifetime to lifetime. It can change from year to year. You know, you're a member of some collectives when you're a little kid, which you're no longer part of anymore. And as an adult, you're part of other collectives that you were not part of as a kid. See, so they can move and swap and change, and it's all about frequencies and interests and stuff like that. The collectives that you're part of. You're part of the human collective, and that's a massive collective. Huge. You're part of the human collective that's playing like dark games, for example. And that's smaller than the larger human collective, which is what you might call all over the universe. And that's, you can't count it, it's so many of them, right?
It's interesting then to think that there's so many that you can't barely count them, and yet at some point you became aware of them. The we.
Ah, yes. Yes.
In a way that we might think that if there's so many uncountable numbers of them, how could you not notice them? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could say, do you notice all the atoms in the air around you?
Certainly not.
Right.
But they're there.
They're there. Yeah. It's all about perception, right? So like if you expand your perception to notice other things, then you see them. But if you haven't expanded your perception to see those things, you don't see them.
And in the case of the we, maybe more like if you haven't narrowed your perception to see them, then you won't see them. Because they've seen too many, they see too much, too broad, and it's in a sense this is more narrow. And where from the human experience it's like you broaden out and then you notice, oh, there's these other things.
I don't know if to narrow would be the right word.
More narrow. Humans as singulars are more narrow in their perception than the we in their natural state, which are vastly more broad.
Yes.
That's all I meant.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it could be said like that. If you're looking into a forest, can you see the tree for the forest, right?
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. I think it's more clear if you read what the we wrote.
About meeting humans?
About meeting humans and becoming aware of this entire universe, the first time.
Okay, you ready?
Yes. It felt to me when I was reading this that it was something I wanted to hear the we read to me.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
In our last article, we promised to share our first experience of the physical universe and also our first awareness of humans. We've been looking at this dynamic and we found that expressing our first awareness of the physical universe and our first experience with it is too large to express and not that interesting to humans. The best the singular could come up with, and also expressed to us that the people would love to hear it, was that it was like the moment you are in a room and suddenly you see for the very first time a black dot on your otherwise plain wall. Most people have had that experience. They're quietly minding their own business, sitting on a chair, maybe reading a book, maybe eating a meal, maybe watching television. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, a tiny black dot appears on their wall and impinges into their consciousness so much that often the person will get up and take a closer look. Have you had that experience?
Yeah, it's usually a spider.
It's usually a spider?
Yeah.
That was our first experience of the physical universe. Did you think it was going to be of humans?
Maybe planets.
Yeah, don't get me started on the planet aspect.
Okay.
It is not that the dot was not there before, but for some reason we were not able to see it. That's it. Our first experience with or of the universe. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. That's it. Our first experience
Of the physical
of
universe.
the physical universe and of humans was, oh, there's a black dot on the wall I hadn't noticed before.
Yeah.
I think it's always been there.
Yes.
That's so interesting.
Regarding dots. Do you want to hear about dots?
I hope that's more interesting, yeah.
Stars look like white little dots in the night sky.
They do.
Depending on where on Earth you are, changes how big those dots are. Now, the
What?
fact that the dots change in size
wait,
depending on where
wait.
you are on Earth makes no sense if we're to think of those dots as distant planets and stars. So distant that it could take many years to reach them.
Well, I mean, they could come up with an excuse like the atmosphere.
What about the atmosphere?
Maybe it's thinner or thicker or more pollution or less, and so more light gets through.
When we inquired about the strange phenomenon, the different sized dots experienced as stars and planets, we were told it was due to atmospheric conditions.
Like UFOs.
When we heard this, we shook our head. It appeared that many things are explained away as atmospheric phenomenon.
Indeed. That atmosphere is so damn tricky. Can you tell me why it's stuck on here? Somebody said gravity holds it on, but that doesn't make any sense.
Well, let's not go down that route because trying to
rationalize
the theories that
The theories.
scientists have come up with, and they are all theories, nothing can be proven, and they're all theorized in closed systems, which the physical universe doesn't have. So trying to rationalize or work within those models is going to be quite impossible for me.
Okay, we'll skip it. But we'll have a giggle.
We don't experience stars as little dots. We only do so while looking at them with our human body's eyes, so of course we don't recognize them for what they really are. How does this relate to our first experience of the physical universe? And also, how does it relate to the first time we met humans? Well, we had no human eyes.
The first time you met humans, you didn't have human eyes?
No. We had no hypothalamus, no to secrete endorphins, dopamine, oxytocin, or vasopressin for us to feel things. In fact, nobody at all to translate our experience into human so we could share it with you in a way you could understand it.
So it made an impression, but not an impression you could say.
No, because people experience things with
It's
their
like,
physical
wow,
bodies.
That's cool. But you don't have that.
No. It's blue. It's elongated. It makes me feel happy. Whatever, you know. How to express what we saw, felt, and experienced, because we did feel. We felt what can be translated as excitement and curiosity. So here goes.
Did you see, though, with no eyes?
Exactly. Can you see without eyes?
I think that you can. I've heard that you can.
We translate as well as we can, as well as you can share with us what it makes you feel so that we know if we manage to send you a complete picture.
Okay.
It happened a very long time ago on a planet that was very much like Earth. Let's explain it that way.
But it was on Earth.
Let's explain it that way.
Okay.
Let's explain it in that way that uses the present human language that reflects the understanding of what a planet is.
Oh, okay. You're using planets as a flying turtle in a sense.
Yes, it's a flying turtle.
Okay.
The other day, we listened to a person talking about planes of existence to replace the word planet, and we giggled. Plane? Planet? We giggled because it was more accurate. But it was also two-dimensional. TWO as well as TOO. They like to play with words. They really do.
I'm just trying to keep my brain in my head.
Let's translate, shall we?
Thank you. Let's simplify.
It was a beautiful summer's day at the beach.
Okay, this is starting better.
We were the sand.
That was not expected.
We were crystalline, hot, shiny, soft, and golden.
Okay.
And we went on for miles. We were miles long. We were in the middle of a conversation with the ocean there. We moved and swam in the ocean, our little grains of sand, who we were, and the water, who we were not. Our conversation lasted millions of years. We expressed and were expressed too. We were.
That gives me an idea.
What idea does it give you?
An idea of how to experience something that I can't experience with eyes, ears, noses, and mouths. Because sand and water, having a conversation for millions of years wouldn't be something I was capable of, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I can imagine it, and it can help me. It helps me a lot. That's very good.
Then something big, hard, and metallic landed on us.
Excuse me?
Not as big as us at the beach, but much bigger than a grain of sand.
Oh. Who's in this ship? Is this a clan with people in it?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We focused on the thing and saw a door into somewhere else. This door was big, and several humanoids walked through it and onto us. Those creatures were magnificently interesting. Some of our grains stuck to their shoes and clothes.
So you started a long conversation with the humans, 3 grains at a time.
Yes.
Oh my.
We tried to communicate with them, but they didn't seem to be able to communicate in any way or form that we could understand.
Besides, maybe.
They took samples of the ocean, who giggled, and us, who were surprised, and samples of all sorts of things. Then they walked through the door again and out of the planet. The door then vanished.
In a million-year conversation, that's pretty impactful. That was like 1/1000th of a flash of a second.
Yes.
And yet, very interesting.
Very interesting. That was our first encounter with humans.
Humans are so special.
Their form and technology was eons more advanced than today. It will take thousands of years from now for them to evolve to that degree in awareness, function, and technology. Oh yes, we don't exist within linear time, so that event will happen in your future.
Oops. Okay. Back to scrambled brain.
Oh no, honey. Our points of view, which were grains of sand at the time and they had taken with them, were explored and tinkered with for many years in the place where they came from. As they took us with them, we were able to expand our awareness into their reality and look at what they did and how they lived. Yeah, that was interesting. We had not been aware that these things existed in the universe. The universe is very large, and there are more creatures on it that you and us could possibly imagine. But just like the black dot on the wall wasn't there 1 second and was there the next, but probably there since the house was built, so was this universe not there 1 second and there the next for us, and so were humans not there 1 second and there the next. Of course, we continue to exist as sand on that planet. We never stop being sand. We're also the ocean on a different planet, and an entire planet somewhere else, and a flock of birds somewhere on Earth. We do well to embody and express multiplicities, not so much as singularities. Larry says it in this way. We are the sand on the beach, not as multiple grains, nor as all the grains as one either, but all as points of reference, as input simultaneously. Do you remember saying that, honey?
Yeah, that was when my brain was less scrambled. I had a moment of clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does make sense. It's a little bit like when you first expressed yourself as sand on the beach having a million-year conversation. From there, I could talk like, sand is multiple points of inputs. But after the time gets scrambled and then the past becomes the future, then it's kind of back to scrambled.
Okay.
So this gives you that feeling of clarity. I think we can just sit with that.
Shall I read it again?
Sure, I'm pretty profound.
He's very profound.
Yeah.
Let's read what Larry said. That he can't remember, we understand now.
Something about sand.
The we are all the sand on that beach.
Are all the sand on that beach.
Not as multiple grains.
Not multiple grains of sand, although there are multiple grains of sand.
Nor as all the grains as one either.
Not like all the grains combined as ones.
Either.
No.
But as all the points of reference as inputs simultaneously.
I don't really get that part. But
You
it
wrote
must be
it.
true.
You said it.
I'm pretty sure I understood it better when I wrote it.
Okay.
But the last line, it's like it's an incomprehensible thing, but at the same time, it's like that. Never mind.
Okay. As we think it as a great way to we think it's a great way to translate our experience. That we really liked what Larry said and understand it clearly.
Okay.
This, Inelia, is our first experience as being a singular being. And when I say singular being, it's not actually quite accurate because none of us are a singular being.
Right.
From the perspective of your soul and a body, already you're not a singular being.
You're a dual single.
And then who functions singularly here anyways? Nobody. Nobody functions singularly here. I mean, look at all the people that took to make this computer for you to watch this, or your radio, whatever it is that you're listening to phone, to this podcast. How many people took to make that device? You're not here singularly. You carry the energy and the results of hundreds, if not thousands of people in your pocket.
That's true.
Anyway, let me go back to the we.
Okay.
This, Inelia, is our first experience as being a singular being, and it is still being made up of multiple beings. Oh, they already said it. There you go. Humans are primarily what we can categorize as a solid body and what can be said to be a subtle body or a soul. But they also contain many other bodies and many other creatures that make the bodies. However, at the human level of awareness, the only bodies that matter are the so-called solid one and the so-called subtler one, the soul. Within these parameters, we decided to incarnate as a subtler body, having gotten the agreement of a solid body.
So, in this sense, you're incarnated as the soul.
Yes.
And the physical body is the you, Inelia. And the soul's also you, Inelia, but all we, Inelia.
Mm-hmm.
My body's Larry. Mm-hmm. My soul is... I don't know what it would be having for a name. Because it doesn't stick with Larry all the time.
No, it has had many names.
But yours has only had one name.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Inelia calls it the we. What do you think it's called by the ocean?
There's many species that don't call themselves names. Like the ocean doesn't call itself Pacific or Atlantic or ocean even.
So it doesn't call sand anything either?
No.
It just washes it. That's the communication.
The communication is the ebb and flow, It's like...
Okay.
Yeah. In some distant future, we will meet humans, and after hundreds of years, maybe thousands, we will think we have an original thought to become a human, so we can gather data from that perspective, but also access a multiplicity of universes and dimensions that are accessible as a human. Do you remember about collectives earlier, what I mentioned about collectives?
Yep.
So as a human, I'm now part of the human collective. And I have access to everything that the human collective has experienced and perceives and understands and creates. What do you think about that?
That's a pretty large portfolio.
Yep. You're right about that. In order to become human, we had to step into a time and a place in existence where humans were open sourced.
Which implies that they're not everywhere.
No.
Or every when. Or every
No.
something.
No.
Just somewhere wins.
Somewhere where the physical body and subtler bodies were able to be changed to accommodate us in a soul form. Most of the humans in the universe and across time are not open sourced. They cannot be genetically manipulated or changed in any way. Almost like a person cannot imagine what a plant is like unless they become a plant. And then they have that experience when they become a plant. They also can perceive, see, and realize that there is a whole world of communicating with them in the soil and in the air. In that same way, we could not imagine what being human was like or what it would open up for us to see and experience. We had theories and observations, but not actual experience. Not that you can become a plant. You cannot. Although I would not put it past you. However, at some point within the context of your soul collective exploring this physical universe, you were plants. And also, we have to take into consideration that you cannot survive without plants. You cannot survive as a human without plants, or air, or water, or light. And you cannot survive without contact with other humans. We would like you to think about that, and then think how singular you really are. That concludes the telling of our first encounter with your species. Of course, we not only communicate with humans now as a human, but in what you might call, at the same time, we're still not finished with our conversation with that distant ocean, nor with billions of different species and forms in this and other universes.
Yeah. So we're all pretending to be singular.
Yes.
And it's a good game. Because, well, I mean, it's interesting to the Wii to give it a try.
Yes.
The,
And the Wii consciousness and the human consciousness are very compatible from various perspectives. One of them is they're both explorers.
have curiosity.
They have curiosity and they want to experience things. If I give you a box and it's locked, you try to, the first thing you do if I give you a box is try to open it as a human, right? You try to open the box to see what's inside, right? Now it's locked. What do?
You have to open it.
Yes. So you look for a key. Or you ask for a key.
You just generated an entire journey of open the box.
Yes.
Right? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Well, if you want to know what's in the box, you're going to have to get a key.
Yes.
Where's the key? Well, we don't know where the key is. Let's have a game of hide and go seek.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we'll play hide and go seek for how long? Until it becomes boring. Okay.
Yes.
It's boring. It took a week. We still haven't found the key. So we want to open the box still. How are we going to do it? Go to a locksmith. Let's see if he'll get you a key. Okay. We'll bring it to a locksmith. He checks the thing and he says, I can't make a key, but I know someone who might. And that puts you on another journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Find another locksmith. This one has actually got skills as a locksmith, not just as like, I made a key, right? He knows how to stick the thing in there and then do that. And then he comes a little thing and then out here. And then he can make a key, but guess what?
What?
It costs $1,000 to open that box. Now we have another journey. Is it worth $1,000 to open that box? We have to make this thing. So we might go on another journey into scrying and learn how to read the cards. Is it going to be a yes or a no? We could use our pendulum. Maybe we need to learn how to use a pendulum. We could say, should I or should I not? Do I trust this thing? Do I do it though? Maybe we go searching for a cheaper one. Can somebody do it for $500?
Or even free.
Or even free, or they're just curious. Or maybe I could learn myself.
Yeah.
If I could learn myself, I need to go take this class. It costs $2,000. Then I'll be able to make my money back because I could sell my skills to somebody else and pay for this key by training other people to do what I just learned how to do. Mm-hmm. So that's the journey of a singular.
Yes.
And how, what's in the box?
Now he wants to know what's in the box.
I hope it's worth $1,000.
Oh my gosh. I sure hope so.
I mean, more than 1,000. You want to open the box that costs you $1,000 and have $1 million in it.
Maybe it's the key to the universe.
Well, it seems like the key to the singular universe is understanding, and at the same time as understanding, right, not getting in the way of the whole reason for the incarnating as a singular. Because you could say, there is no box.
Or you could get a hammer and go crunch and open the box.
You could use a torch and risk burning what's in it.
Yes.
I mean, there are destructive ways to open the box.
Yes.
And the box is only a allegory anyway for the human journey.
Yeah.
The journeys of all of these experiences. Some people will get the box and then, like you just said, they'll get a giant hammer and smash the shit out of it. Uh-huh. And they got it open and they got the answer. Uh-huh. And the answer is probably empty, It's like, well, that was boring. Opened up an empty box. Big deal. Yes. Or there's very important things to somebody else's singular journey, like their birth certificate from 100 years ago. Mm-hmm. And you go look at it, you go like, well, that's boring, right? How much value is that? But the journey of opening with the box, if you allow it to be the journey that it can be, that could be an entertaining journey of opening the box, not just the box is open.
Yes.
I think that's the
energy.
Point of the singular, right?
Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying is compatible with the we, because humans do that. Yeah. They want to know what's in the box. They want to know what's around the corner. They want to know what's over the hill. Right?
They're willing to put up all kinds of things to find out.
Yes, they do. And as the we, that's the same. The gathering of information, data, and experiences. So highly compatible. Highly compatible.
Right. Oftentimes, the tendency when people talk to the we or want to talk to the we is to find out what's in the box without having the journey to open up the box. It's just like skip to the end and tell me what's in the box. Yeah. The big box, the box that's the truth, the ultimate reality, the answer to the questions of the universe. Mm-hmm. And then I have found that the we will tell them an answer. Like the thing that got my interest was that little black dot on the wall that was already there, and I just never looked at it. It's like, well, that's not that interesting. We much preferred it to be in the box that we didn't open yet.
Yes.
Right? So there's a certain amount of curiosity. Yeah. I like to think about there's this process of awakening to a larger sense of awareness, enlightenment, oneness, etc., etc., etc. Mm-hmm. More awareness of your true nature, things like that, right? This expanded awareness sense. There's sometimes there's a belief that if you only reach this something or other, then everything will be make sense. Then, you'll be able to open the box, right? And it's just a different box. You've opened up the box and you found inside a different box.
Another box, yes.
So.
Or maybe it's a little sphere. It's a beautiful little sphere. And it's got little lights in it and everything. And it takes you 5 years to figure out that actually that's another box. Yes. Because you enjoyed that sphere for 5 years. You showed it to all your friends. You took photos of it. You put it on Instagram. Right? Yeah. You did all the things and you put it somewhere nice in your house so everybody could see it as they walk in. It's a beautiful orb, with all these lights and things. And then suddenly you're just minding your own business, reading a book, or you look over And then you look again and you see a little edge on it that you've never seen before.
It can open up.
And you go, what the?
It can open.
So you can go up and you go, wow, this was always here. I never noticed before. And you start trying to open it up again, right?
Right. Brilliant. So
Yes.
the structures of our agreed nature of reality, splits, things like that, are the processes of opening up the boxes can involve light experiences or light dark experiences or dark experiences. And I think that is a decent enough allegory, right? It's like to open up this box and go find the key, you need to go to war and go kill a bunch of people and get tortured. And then you can have the key. So that would be like a dark experience of opening up the box,
I think
right?
so. No, I think that's just experience. But yeah, people want to know how things feel.
Yeah.
What is that like?
Yeah.
You know?
Which is why we agreed to go have these darker experiences and dark experiences when we were light beings to begin with.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's because we were just curious.
Curious, yeah.
Right. And when we can move out of judgment a little bit in the sense of like not choice, it's like we're not moving out of choosing.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving out of judging those particular experiences as like more than they are. Judging dark experiences more than it is.
All makes
like a
sense.
Purpose.
I'll give it a purpose.
Like it has a purpose.
Or meaning and value.
Meaning and value and all
that's
those
just
things.
to propagate more dark
Propagate
experience.
more of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So one might ask, as a human, of the we, some little questions like, does this curiosity, compatibility is one of the more interesting, compatibility things between humans and we's and creating souls and generating and having that singular experience. What might some of the other things that you've experienced as a human singular, the more notable ones, what might they be like?
Giving birth.
Oh my gosh. Giving birth.
Mm-hmm. And the entire thing from here comes a little body, here comes a soul, they meet inside a body, inside my body. And you're like, whoa, they just met.
Wow, that's fascinating.
And then they start growing and becoming more aware of the physical universe, more and more aware of the physical universe, more and more aware of the physical universe. And they become more and more complex. And with that complexity, become more aware of the physical universe. And then eventually a little person comes out of your body. It hurts a lot. It hurts like the dickens. But it comes out, and there's this new little human, and you get to take it home. Nobody asks you anything.
Or checks your license.
No license required.
That's crazy.
And they're so cute. And amazing, and they have their own personalities and life journeys and soul journeys and histories and future history and all the things.
So having a baby is one of those very interesting boxes to open.
Very interesting. Yeah, we wanted to have like 20, but our body couldn't handle it. So she only had 4.
Have you thought of maybe having another body that could take 20 next go around?
It's good try. Good try.
Okay, just trying. These are good boxes, Having 1 is good. Having 4 is great. Having 20 is probably just outstanding. Any other boxes that are interesting to experience as a human? I mean, the birth one is like profound.
Yes, and the human experience of multiple timelines is quite fascinating because it's an oversoul that contains a singular in many, many different bodies, parallel in different timelines. That's the timeline thing, part of being part of that physical universe. And how each one can have their own experience. That's quite fascinating. Because as a we, there's no parallel timelines. It's just existence. Right? Even linearity of experience is new. That's another fascinating one. You can't step into the linearity of existence not even as a soul, you cannot do it. You have to be in a physical body to be able to do that and have the illusion of time, or call it time, when in fact it's just movement through space.
So one of the interesting boxes is the experience of a finite existence.
No, it's not finite.
Well, it's linearly defined.
Yes.
Right. And you did say something about the timelines of those experiences. So it's linearly defined, but multiples
Of that,
at the same
those
time.
lines, yeah.
Well, time, yeah.
Of those lines, yeah.
So is there a number that you would say this singular is experiencing 42 timelines simultaneously? Or is, I don't even know if that's a gibberish statement, but is there a number of timelines that coexist like right now or in general? I imagine they probably fluctuate, like more and less. Some close off, some start up, some are finished in their experience, and some are continuing still. So like from the perspective of us sitting here now on the couch, how many open timelines would you say that we are experiencing as Inelia?
Sitting on a couch with Larry?
No, just open timelines with the experiences happening simultaneously.
Oh, but the ways, they're not quite, it's not quite the same as every other human. So I could say more like to Larry.
Okay.
How many Larrys are there in different timelines right now?
Right.
And I get like that you can identify as a human called Larry, not necessarily with the Larry name, but with that soul expression, the oversoul, the same oversoul, right? And very similarly experienced.
Right. Ones that I would
Across.
define as me.
Yes, those. They're not that numerous. I would say
Hundreds?
800 maybe?
Yeah, I was
Something
guessing
like that?
I was thinking around hundreds, but
800
Yeah.
maybe?
like 250.
Maybe a little bit more, maybe 2,000, you know? If you really push it, you know?
Okay. Yeah, that's a reasonable number. At least I don't have a scrambled, exploded brain from that number.
Right. So it's like the humanoid soul body
Yeah,
experience.
not a bubble of color floating around.
Exactly.
In a sea of
Because
nothingness.
we start with that, and it's like
Bajillion.
there's no limit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the we with the same question as Inelia? Is there
There's a lot
hundreds?
less. No.
Dozens?
Maybe dozens.
Okay. So, of course, that means this one's special. We have a special one. Woohoo! Go team!
Yes, go
Team Human this incarnation. Timeline. Yay!
Go Earth.
Yay! Feels good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting conversation.
Yes. So, what would you like the we to talk about on our next The We Talks?
Well, that's a conversation I think I want to have with my group of mystics, maybe.
Okay.
Because singular Larry's what do you want to know from Louise is
Bananas.
And the mystics, it's also bananas, but together maybe we can
Maybe it's
banana cream pies,
yeah, maybe banana split.
banana splits.
Yeah.
At least it will have something you've done with the banana.
Maybe. Yeah.
Probably, possibly.
Yeah. Or maybe where you hunt them. Where do you hunt bananas?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure we can come up with a good question or two. It's really just a topic to expand on. I think that
I think that we already wrote one, didn't they?
a topic to expand on.
Yeah, I think they might have already written one.
Don't know.
Okay.
I'm sure they've already written 50 of them, and we're just trying to catch up to where they're written.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Come on, guys, let's make some time go faster.
What
Catch up to those.
What happens to Larry when We're gonna do the We Talks podcast. What happens to Larry?
A lot of things become very important to
Like
get
what?
done that
Yeah.
are on the list.
Yeah, like what?
Dishes. The
Dishes?
dishes that those become important.
Pots and pans.
The check that's been on the fridge for a month or two. Got to deposit it right now.
I think it was 6 months actually.
Or however many months. It's like all of a sudden now it needs to be done.
Okay.
And that soot thing for the fireplace, that needs ordered.
We don't have any more?
Yeah, there's some over there, but we needed a new one ordered.
Even though we have one over there.
Yeah, because you can't have too many. But you need them now.
Yes, so our 9 o'clock recording.
It's 2:30.
Yes. All right, babe.
So, basically what we're trying to say here is that these conversations, while they may seem easy, they're a little bit hard.
Yeah, they're a
Your
little bit hard.
body's become like a little resistant to these conversations because it does scramble your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's one of those just sit down and do it. Yeah. Shuffle through all of the things that get in the way, the little firewalls. I got a headache starting. Oh, now I'm hungry. Oh, geez, I'm thirsty. Oh, no, I got to start a fire. Listen to all those crackers. Oh, the dang washing machine. Now it's on the spin cycle. Right? All of these are just symptoms of resistances, right?
Yes, indeed.
So you may well have experienced some also, or you will be or have. And if you've made it this far, good job.
Press rewind and listen to it again.
Whoa.
Well, how did you do that?
I'm magic.
I didn't do it. Come on. No. Oh, how about this?
Mine did it.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I have to do it that side. Oh. We're doing little hearts and what's it called? Thumbs up.
Thumbs ups,
Like-
and the thumbs ups is giving me a thumbs up on the screen, but
Yeah.
doesn't recognize.
I did the heart.
You did it!
I did the heart. Did you do
Nice
this heart?
job. You gotta watch that if you haven't seen that before.
If you need to watch the video for this podcast, okay?
I am so impressed.
That was impressive.
Oh,
my gosh.
Love
That
it.
is beautiful.
Love you, honey.
Love you too.